Well, we will take you to Akosombo for a setting fire outbreak that is dangerously, raging there. But before then, the new Patriotic Party has condemned the attack on the Electoral Commission's Greater Accra Regional Coalition Center. This morning, supporters from the Ablekuma North constituency stormed the EC office early this morning, shattered glass windows and broke doors at the coalition center even before coalition could begin. We'll hear from the parties shortly, but first, this is what happened at the coalition center, as captured by my colleague James Aveji.
An attempt by the Electoral Commission to complete the coalition process of the Ablekuma North constituency parliamentary result has hit the rock again. Now, the EC has been compelled to, in fact, call off the process because even before they set up, some party supporters from the constituency stormed the coalition center, breaking louver blades and shattering windows, compelling the police to declare the place a crime scene. And you see from my left here, from this window here, has been shattered by the party supporters, including doors and other glasses. This is the entrance to the coalition room. And as you can see, those in front of me are taking their time to make their way there because all of the windows leading to the coalition room, the louver blades have been shattered this morning by the party supporters who have invaded the place even before the Electoral Commission officials make their way to the coalition room. And so this is what happened just this morning. You would have to really be careful to make your way into the coalition room because a mess has been created here by the party supporters. The louver frames in all of the windows leading to the coalition center have been broken this morning by the political party supporters. And so, as we speak, EC officials are yet to make their way to the coalition center to even set up for the coalition. Director of Elections for the NDC in the Ablekuma North constituency, Daniel Tonyiga, says they have also been compelled to withdraw their party supporters because as at midday today, they have not had any official communication from the EC as to the way forward. I mean, we've seen what's happened here this morning. I've seen your party members withdrawing. Why?
Well, okay, so obviously, before we came, the MPP supporters were up there. They were already occupied. And you see, that's why we also asked our supporters to come through because we couldn't guarantee our safety with the MPP supporters and their mobs. Yeah, of course. So when they came and all this commotion that happened, I think it's fair that when all of them have withdrawn, we also have to withdraw. We have withdrawn all our supporters. Of course, whatever activity that must happen here is over and we are moving out.
Okay. Have you had any official communication from the EC officially on the status of today's exercise?
As of now, no, we have not had any information whatsoever. They informed me. I have to inform my team. And we prepared for today. And I've even tried calling the district EC officer severally. He has not picked this call, so we don't know what to do. So we just have to, ask our members to leave and then move on. Today's
exercise have been called off. No official dates have been set yet on when the three outstanding, polling stations will be resolved for a final determination of the outcome of the elections and a winner declared. We'll be looking forward to that in the coming days. But from the EC's Regional Coalition Center here in Accra, I am James Aveji reporting for Joy News.
We're going to hear from the parties first, from the MPP who have condemned the attack and called on the police to act. Evans Nimakwe is Director of Research and Elections for the party.
For us as New Patriotic Party, this posture of the NDC and their assign should be condemned by all stakeholders. My brother-in-law sits there and is talking. Isn't it the same DC that declared Domi Kwabenya for them when you were not part of the whole coalition exercise. When on the 4th of this month, the High Court ordered the EC to conduct collation for these constituencies and also directed the police to provide adequate security to bring finality to collation in these constituencies. Today, they can speak this way, but it is so unfortunate. This morning, I had gotten to the EC Regional Collation Center and saw what was happening. So I drove up. I drove up with a parliamentary candidate, a KFA, and the team that had been invited by the EC to go through this exercise. What was it? The court has directed, and as you said, if you disagree, why don't you go to court?
That was the Director of Elections for the NPP, now Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC, Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer, has described the attempted coalition as illegal.
You say our party is involved in this vandalism, as if the NDC is a lawless organization. I am saying that the cause mess is the Electoral Commission. They are becoming a lawless institution. Because if they hadn't gone to misbehave this way, I don't think the youth would have gone there to stop them from that lawless action they were going to do. They did that and declared illegal people into parliament. And you think because we have folded our arms, they did that on our blind side, they want to continue that path, to continue declaring illegal people and mass them up into parliament. That kind of attitude, we are not going to accept it.
What makes the actions of the Electoral Commission illegal, even though we know this issue is in court? Why do you think what they tried to do this morning was illegal?
We filed a stay of execution and an appeal. They are aware of it. They are noticed. They received the service. Their lawyers came and represented them the last time. What is the meaning of when you file a stay of execution? That means you should stay the action that the High Court asks you to embark on. Why are they doing that?
So that was the the NDC there speaking about that development. The Electoral Commission has issued a statement on Friday's incident at their Greater Accra Regional Office, partly blaming the NDC and calling the Ghana Police Service to act. The statement, let me share with you a bit of that. And the statement that we have here says the Electoral Commission wishes to bring to the attention of the general public that following the order of the High Court on 4th January 2025, directing the commission to continue the collation of polling station results and declare the winners of the 4 outstanding parliamentary elections. The only constituency still outstanding, they say, is Ablekuma North. It is instructive to state that the order of the High Court mandated the Ghana Police Service to provide the Electoral Commission security to conduct the collation of polling station results for the outstanding constituencies, of which they've done quite a number of them. Now, the statement continues to say that the collation of polling station results for the Ablekuma North took place on the 8th of January 2025 at the old head office of the Commission. However, the exercise was not completed because 3 out of the 281 polling station results were still outstanding. It continues to say the Commission wrote to the Ghana Police Service for the continuation of the collation of the 17th on the 17th of January 2025 at 8 a.m. So that's what they wanted to do today. Now, on the day the collation was expected to take place, the Commission was alerted by the police that per the intelligence available to them, the exercise should be put on hold. Now, the Commission continues to say the police, however, did not augment security at the premises of the coalition center. that's the old head office, and the new corporate head office, leading to some party supporters invading the old head office of the commission and destroying the property of the commission, including furniture and louver blades. So that is what the commission is saying. It again says some of the supporters also invaded the premises of the new corporate head office of the commission on motorbicycles. They issued threat to the commission and the staff. This instilled fear in the staff and caused all staff members to flee because of the environment, because the environment had become unsafe as a result of the invasion. So this is, the statement that the Electoral Commission has put out there. Now, the Ghana Police Service has issued a statement calling, for calm in the Nkwanta South municipality, in Nkwanta municipality, and assuring residents of its commitment to maintaining peace and security in the affected communities. This reassurance follows renewed communal disturbances in the area, which have so far resulted in the deaths of 5 people and left 5 others injured. Now, this whole issue is really degenerating into something that, all of us need to pay attention to. And the Ghana Police Service is raising the awareness in this particular matter. They are assuring that they will do everything they can to ensure that things, come back to normalcy. But let's share with you some of the things that the statement says. It says, the Ghana Police Service has restored calm, law and order at Nkwanta and its environs in the Oti region with the deployment of reinforcement teams to support the regional command. Now, the police are being supported by the military. So that is what they are doing to ensure that calm is restored in Nkwanta. If you see some of the videos and pictures, they are quite disturbing and something needs to be done. So that's what the police is doing. Again, it says this follows renewed communal related disturbances in the area, which has so far resulted in the deaths of 5 persons and injury to 5 others. 8 buildings and 1 shop have also been destroyed. Some of them have had fire being set too. Now, the Inspector General of Police has spoken to the 3 chiefs in the area over the telephone and appealed to them to partner with the security agencies to maintain security, law and order in their community. So that is what the police is saying. They've also said the 5 injured victims are currently receiving medical care while the bodies of the 5 deceased have been deposited at the morgue. Meanwhile, the Oti Regional Police Commander is also in the area engaging the chiefs, opinion leaders, and community members as part of our peace building activities as investigations into the incident continue. Now, they again say, we want to assure the public, particularly the people of Nkwanta and its environs, that the police and the military will continue to work together to ensure peace and security are maintained in the communities. Look, I have seen what is happening in Nkwanta. I've seen videos and people send pictures to say that what really is happening. And we're going to show you some of the videos. It's from an amateur video, so you'd have to cope with how it is. But viewers' discretion is also advised. As you can see, things are not well in Nkwanta, but we are happy to hear from the police tonight. But they've deployed more men, and also the military is supporting them for them to restore calm and order in Nkwanta. So this is by way of you can see fire set to some properties in Nkwanta there. If you are in Nkwanta, we are with you, but please let's ensure calm is restored there. Now, this conflict is not new, raising the question of how it can be permanently resolved. Joining me to provide insight and possible solutions is security expert and criminologist Dr. Jones Opokunwari. Doc, I'm grateful to you for joining us here. What specific steps can be taken now? You heard the police there about what they are doing there, but what specific steps can be taken in addition to what the police is already doing, to restore calm and order in Nkwanta?
Well, thank you very much, and a very good evening to you and also to your viewers. And you are right to say that this is something that has lingered on. This is a conflict that has lingered on over the period. And the fact that it keeps happening suggests me that the right approach that we have to use to permanently solve this issue has not been that. And while the police are at it in terms of deploying their men and also some military people to maintain law and order, that is essentially the first step that's supposed to be done. That is the rational thing that is supposed to be done in an area that has been experiencing this kind of violence. However, if as a state we really want to nip this in the bud permanently, I think that we have to now do proper engagement in terms of engaging other factions that are involved in this conflict. Because look, if you do pattern analysis of most communal clashes in this country, you will see that many of them are chieftain related and then followed by land. So our job is essentially clear, that once it is based on chieftaincy issues and there are chiefs involved, we need to up the game. We need to make sure that we properly engage them. And over the years, I think a few years ago, I think that there is something that is coming up in terms of how we are dealing with some of these chieftaincy and communal clashes that we are experiencing across the country, in some parts of the country. We have O24 leading some of these things. And I think that the O24 model seems to have proven very good and excellent in some areas. It is possible we may want to replicate this approach and model in other places by bringing together this eminent camp.
Quite interesting there, but as you say, if it involves the chief, then we have to up our game. What exactly should we do then if it involves chiefs in the area in this whole issue?
Yeah, so as I'm saying, please, am I on?
Yes, you're on. I can hear you, sir.
As I'm saying, if that model is working, yes, if that model is working, then it's important. The O24 model, as I was saying, is working. Then it's important we continually deploy that model across areas. In fact, I'm thinking that by now, as a country, we should have been able to map up and identify all the hotspots in terms of chieftaincy problems and deploy this model to be able to deal with it, more permanently. And I think that as a country, this is what we are supposed to be doing. We've already been having ministers of chieftaincy over the period. I'm thinking that the new minister of chieftaincy will be coming. If there is anything called a bucket list of activity, Nkwanta should be one of the places that you should add to his bucket list in terms of bringing applying this model into the problem that is happening there more permanently.
I mean, we've seen the president making effort to try to resolve some of these issues. Should he be at Nkwanta as we're seeing what we're seeing? Is it advisable that he gets
exactly there? Because yes, I think that if you look at the steps the president has begun taking, especially with regards to what is happening in the north, I'll be very happy if he takes similar steps, because what has happened over the period is that when it comes to chieftaincy conflicts, we've not been able to have a hold on it, and it becomes something that becomes more perennial. So if the president moves there, it sends a very clear signal to the factions that are involved that, look, this time around, we want to do something more permanent and to be able to deal with the issue. And as I said, I think that if there is a model which has worked very well, and the O24 model, as I've alluded to, has worked very well.
But doesn't this also then betray our intelligence gathering as a state? Because we didn't get a hint of this happening. What does this speak to the intelligence gathering prowess of the state, Ghana?
Yes, as I said, the fact that it's been happening suggests that as a state you might have failed, and in fact we have failed in naming this in the bud. And as you alluded to, it speaks to the fact that on the ground, intelligence is not working. There's probably a breakdown, in community, trust, especially with how they relate to the police. And I've said that all policing is local, in the same way that intelligence gathering is local. So it is very important that if at some point in time the police have not been able to pick the intelligence, what it means is that intelligence has broken down in those kind of communities. And it is important that we must begin to rebuild that kind of trust between the community and the security agencies, so that when these things become quickly we can move in to prevent and activate all the community engagement processes that will ensure that peace is permanently secured.
All right, I'm grateful to you for joining us here. Away from that, information rich in Joy News suggests that there's a fire outbreak near Ghana's largest hydroelectric facility, the Akosombo Dam. I mean, residents are urgently appealing for immediate intervention from the fire service to prevent the fire from spreading to the hydro dam, because if it does, you can imagine what will be the impact. But how close is this fire from the Akosombo Dam? Let's bring in Alex Kentonate. He speaks, he's part of the team that speaks for the Ghana National Fire Service. Alex, I'm grateful to you for joining us here. Has this come to your attention, and where exactly is this fire per what you've gathered?
So per what we've gathered from our team at Akosombo, it's very far from the dam.
Okay.
And accessibility to that area is a bit curtailed. Our men are doing their best to try and contain the fire. But as it stands right now, it's behind the hill, which is several kilometers away from the dam, thereby not really posing any risk to the dam. Nevertheless, we are mounting our fire tender close to the dam to be able to prevent, in case the fire should spread towards the dam, we will be able to cut it or contain it from getting to the dam. So there's no cause for alarm. Our men over there are more than capable to make sure that we protect the important installation of the Akosombo Dam.
Well, the video I've seen, I don't clearly see what kind of fire we're dealing with. Is it a bushfire or is it in a residential area?
It's a bushfire. It's a bushfire. So from what I've gathered, it's not really close to any residence. It's quite far apart from where the directors are staying, and then also very far apart from the dam. So our men already have been there, done the assessment. The problem is that it is the place is very inaccessible, and so the fortunate thing again, as proactive as the Ghana National Fire Service is that we've trained fire wardens in these communities who are again going to be helping us manage the situation. So be rest assured that we are on top of issues to make sure that we don't record any disaster at that site.
Okay, so if I understand you haven't started tackling the fire itself now because it's inaccessible. You've only lined up at a place to prevent it from getting to the hydro dam. Is that it?
Yes, we are trying to contain it. We are, especially the hydro dam being a very important installation. So we are doing our best to make sure that doesn't. But be rest assured that it won't spread because it's very far from there, and our officers are capable of making sure that they cut it, so that it doesn't even get close to the hydro dam.
But you understand this better. Do we have any air power in terms of fighting fires of this nature? If not the fire service, do you know whether the police or the military has such equipment that we can probably call on them to deal with the fire at where it is now before it even tries to spread to where we don't want it to?
So ideally, this again this becomes a clarion call for better resourcing of the Ghana National Fire Service, where we can have much more tools like this to be able to fight fire. Nevertheless, despite the fact that we don't have these firefighting drones or helicopters, we are still determined to protect the good people of Ghana. So for now, we don't have such devices to be able to fight a fire, and I don't think it should cause any panic for now, because we on top of issues, and I'm sure as and when it gets to a situation like this, we'll be able to still manage the situation and protect the dam or any other important installation from fires.
You've warned that we are in a period where fires are quite rampant, and therefore people have to be extra careful in doing what they do. You said this is a bushfire. What could possibly be the issue, and what advice will you give to farmers, for example, so that we prevent some of these things from happening?
Well, as part of our fire education, we've been very vocal or vociferous about the fact that people should avoid indiscriminate burning. For an area like this, it could have been anything. It could have been maybe a farmer within that community trying to clear his farmland and then probably go out of hand. It could even be someone smoking and probably have disposed of the cigarette butts indiscriminately. It could even again be anything, as I said, the indiscriminate burning. So we've constantly advised that at such a period like this, people should avoid indiscriminate burning. And so we are hoping that this call would, people will hit this call, because for periods like this, any little spark, because of the lack of moisture in the environment, any little spark can lead to severe spread.
Now, how many bushfires have we recorded since the beginning of the year?
Beginning of the year was a bit crazy with bushfires, but I think we've recorded less than 50 bushfires since we entered this year.
Wow, close to 50.
No, less than 50. I don't have the figure with me here. Yes, but it's less than 50.
Okay.
It's less.
But I mean, you say this is quite far from the dam, but what kind of preventive measure can the VRA itself put up to ensure that even if this should happen, your men are there, but if it happens and you tend to be overpowered, we will win the game? What kind of advice will you give the VRA itself?
Well, as proactive as we are, I don't think we will be overpowered. We do our best. Overpowered. Obviously, logistics is an issue, but we have committed officers to make sure that we don't get overpowered. But per the assessment, if our officers feel there's any surge or if it seems to get out of control, we would call for reinforcement from other fire stations to help us. But be rest assured that our officers will be closely mounted to the edge of the dam, or that area, so that the fire doesn't spread to that side.
When I heard the news, I was a bit scared, because I know what could happen to power if there should be fire close to the Akosombo Dam. So if someone just joined us, give us the assurance again that we don't have to worry, there's no cause for alarm, all is well and under control.
Exactly. So for those just joining, I can give an assurance that all is well. Our officers are over there. We are not supermen, but we are committed men who are committed to deliver on our mandate. So we are working, our officers are there, making sure that an important installation like the Akosombo Dam is protected from the fire. So that's one I can assure you. And our Eastern Regional Commander, my former boss, ACM Foifu, is on top of the issue, is closely monitoring the situation. And when the situation is getting out of hand, he will be able to put in pragmatic efforts to make sure that we secure the electricity of Ghana with our efforts.
Okay, all right. Alex Kenate, I'm grateful to you for joining us here. Now, the information reaching Joy News indicates that, there's a fire outbreak in Akosombo. We were told that it was near Ghana's largest hydroelectric facility, the Akosombo Dam, but the fire service is assuring us that the fire is far away from the facility. And what they've done is that they've stationed men close to the Akosombo Dam, such that if this bushfire you're seeing on the television even stretches to the Akosombo Dam, they will be able to deal with it. But they are giving us assurance that the fire you see on your screen is distant from the Akosombo Dam, and there's no cause for alarm. They add, however, that the area where this bushfire is inaccessible. So they have not been able to get to the area. That is why they've stationed men close to the Akosombo Dam, rather, to be able to deal with the overspill of the fire should in case that come about. So that is the situation in Akosombo that we just spoke to Alex Kenate about. We are still keeping our eyes on the particular development, and whatever happens, we'll let you know. Now, away from that, government has authorized heads of senior high schools to begin purchasing food items to avert shortages in senior high schools across the country. On Thursday, the government started the distribution of nearly 140,000 bags of rice to selected senior high schools last night, and also reached an agreement with head teacher grouping CHAS to start procurement of 16 other food items currently unavailable for distribution. And the government works to release funds to support these efforts. Dr. Clement Park, a member of the Transition Team's Education Subcommittee and MP for Bosa South, disclosed this to JoyNews.
I know the other option that is being considered urgently is to give the schools the opportunity to be able to start procurement, even as they wait for the resources to come. So I believe very strongly that if we were to consider both arrangements, the issue can be addressed even as we wait for the funds to get to the schools. But the money that is going to go to the heads of the schools to procure. The food is not going to be procured by a centralized agency and then distributed. The dynamics have changed. So the decision is that the funding will go to the heads of the schools through the Ministry of Education for them to procure their own food items.
Okay, so this is to the money that they will get, but even before the money goes, they are allowed to start with procurement and get some of the food items until the money gets to them.
Yes, that is a reasonable arrangement.
Now, in the Ashanti region, students in some senior high schools are reporting reduced portions in their daily meals, signaling a cautious approach to food management and shortages. Now, despite President John Maham's directive for the immediate distribution of stored food to alleviate the crisis, some schools are yet to access supplies. Clinton Yeboah has more.
It's been a hectic journey visiting schools, engaging authorities and students on feeding conditions of their schools. Feeding has become topical considering that some schools in Ghana were addressing and also recording shortages of feeding and food supplies. 5 days after the President, John Dramani Mahama, gave out a directive to the GES to supervise and ensure that food supplies reach schools across the country, some schools are recounting of not receiving the food supplies. We have been touring schools, senior high schools in the Ashanti region. Specifically, the engagement I've had with authorities and students from the Kumasi Anglican Senior High and also the Kumasi Technical Institute.
The quantity of food that we have here is not enough. So we will please plead for the government to help us, because the quantity of food that we have here is not enough for all of us.
Is it always not enough, or there are times that you think they are okay?
It's always not enough, because we are the students here are so many. It's like breakfast. You see how the amount of breakfast that you take in the morning, how the breakfast is. That's how the lunch, the supper that we take is. And now we don't take lunch anymore. We don't even take lunch anymore. Just take the breakfast and we take the supper.
Last semester, we had problems with our foods. Like they were small. We used to eat one food in like a week. Yeah. So maybe let's take rice. We could eat rice the whole week, and so that's not good. We need a balanced diet food. But as for this semester, we've not witnessed such issue. Same as this semester. This semester they keep on changing it, but the quantity is small.
Here at the Kumasi Technical Institute, I made a stop and had a conversation with the principal of the school, Mr. Gabriel Kinsford Osei, who says the school urgently need the food supplies.
They've been asking us to provide the stock that we have. And all that we have can take us for a maximum of 2 weeks. And so if we don't get food, actually, then there will be a problem after next week. And so we are actually looking forward to hear something from our zonal chairman.
Mr. Kinsford also expressed that although the school is in urgent need, of the food supplies, he is optimistic considering the engagements that have ensued between government and senior high school authorities.
What we know is that the supply of food to schools is not directly from the Tema or Accra to the schools. They will distribute to the regional centers. Then the regional will also have the zoners, the region, the schools within the region have been zoned. So when it comes to the region will also distribute to the zonal centers. So it is at the zonal centers that they distribute direct to the schools. So as we speak, since Monday that the president issued that directive, the schools, we have not received any food item as of now. So that is the situation.
The issue of food shortages is leaving some schools expectant of a disaster, considering that they are almost exhausting their food stock. This is why they are banking their hopes on the immediate distribution of food supplies to their schools. For JoyNews, my name is Clinton Yabwa.
This is JoyNews Prime. We'll take a break here. We'll have more stories for you here on JoyNews Prime, so do stay with us. We'll be back shortly. Now, welcome back from the break. The principal of St. Vincent College of Education in the Northern Region, Associate Professor Jonas Kwabla-Fiajowo, has stepped down from his position less than 2 months after his appointment. Now, this was announced in a statement dated Thursday, January 16, 2025, which also included a summary report on a recent incident at the college on January 13, 2025, where the registrar of the Dagbon Traditional Council, Al-Hassan Abdul Fattah, instructed the college staff and management to vacate the premises and lock the offices until further notice. Let me share with you details of this report. Now, it says of this letter, which is communicating the resignation of the head of this college. It says, at about 10 a.m. today, a group of young men numbering about 10 persons came to the college to deliver a verbal message to the college management. They were led to the HR's office by a security guard on campus known as Bro Kefas Raymond. So this is the letter communicating exactly why the man has resigned. And it's telling us that some group of persons came to the college to deliver, a message. Now it says, upon introducing themselves as members of various associations from the Dagbon Youth Association, and stated their mission that they wanted to meet management to deliver a message from the king of Dagbon. Now it continues to say the HR officer, Mr. Zachariah Solomon, called both of the college principal and acting vice principal, but was told that they were all out of town. A call was placed then to the next available management member on campus, that is Mr. Dietege W.M. Amos, who is the finance officer, to come to his office so that the two of them could then meet the group who alleged that they were sent by the king of Dagbon. Now it continues to say that for the avoidance of doubt, the group introduced the following key persons among the group. 1, registrar of the Dagbon Traditional Council. 2, national representative of the Dagbon Youth Association. 3, secretary to the Yendi Concerned Citizens and secretary to the Myong people. So those were the 4 people. According to the group, the king of Dagbon has ordered that St. Vincent College of Education be closed down until the authorities heed to the demand of the king, which is to appoint the person he had recommended for the position of the college principal. So that is the reason this letter is communicating. The delegation, after delivering the message, moved out of the office and later returned to ensure that all staff who were in their various offices left the campus, and the officers logged before they also left the campus. So it is to ensure that the orders are obeyed. It says they further warned all staff not to return to work until the king's directive is obeyed. Besides, they threatened that any staff who is found on the college campus will have himself or herself to be blamed. The 2 officers, including other staff who were present, did not resist the demand of the group. So that was, what the group brought. But this particular report or that background then resulted in what we had today, that the manager or the principal of the college has resigned his position. It says Okay, so my vision is to see to the infrastructural development of the college to enhance teaching and learning, which I believe is a priority of all other aspirants. However, recent developments concerning the college indicate that my selection does not meet the aspirations of the college community. I believe that any other qualified person fully accepted and supported by the community can achieve a better result than what I envisage. So this is what the principal is saying. Again, he says, with reference to the letter dated November 27, 2024, appointing me as a substantive principal of the above mentioned institution, I write to inform you about my decision to resign from the position starting January 16, 2025, which was Thursday. I accepted the position because I believed it offered me an opportunity to serve the college and our dear nation. So the background we led earlier about the people coming to the college to say the king of Dabon is not happy with his appointment and wanted someone else, has asked them to come and ensure that all the other staff leave the campus unless they obey. This is why the substantive college principal has also then written today communicating his decision to resign. Well, we'll take a break here and we'll bring you a lot more in showbiz with Becky Bex. This is still JoyNews Prime. Do stay.